where you said you did or not, which I have and I think Hank Brown and Bill Owens have an answer to that too.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, Tabor has been good for us, and I just want them to be honest, right? They're talking about the money. This refund money is going to go to education, higher education, and transportation, and they're neglecting to point out the fact that they've overspent next year's budget by $100 million already. So everything they passed last year, all the promises they made, now they're trying to bail out themselves for those decisions. And so, a third of the money, 40% of the money for next year is already gone and spent. So they're making promises, and they're not even working within the budget that they have right now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's essentially a lie to put this on the ballot and say this is what it's going to be spent for when they know they don't have enough money to do what they passed last year.
Right. And I just would wish they would be honest about that. But the article came out a couple of weeks ago, Colorado Sun, and said, look, you guys knew how much kindergarten would cost, and then you jammed it into a budget at a lesser price, and then it came in at the cost that you originally said, and now we got to go find that money. You can argue if certain things are a good idea or not, family leave or other ideas. And instead, we're number one economy in the country. The way the legislature's acting, I don't know how long that's going to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, this is so important. And, I've talked to a lot of people, as you know, Americans for Prosperity and other groups, your group, others are out there talking to people and walking doors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the first reaction of a lot of people is, oh, I didn't know that's what it did. I didn't know it was, getting rid of the requirement to come back and ask me if they could keep more money. People are stunned by that because it doesn't say that. I mean, it's a trick question, essentially, on the ballot.
Yeah. And I was walking doors yesterday talking to people, and it's a mix. A few of them were like, I got my ballot in, voted no, definitely on that. Other people were like, I'm not sure I saw that, or they brought their blue book out and said, I was thinking this way, but I wasn't sure. So I think the more people do research into it and the more we can talk to them and tell them what it is, like this is about taking your Tabor tax refunds forever. I think we definitely win it. It's just how do we get to, the amount of people that are going to vote. And that's why it takes people like your listeners to go out and say, you know what, I'm going to walk my neighborhood or I'm going to make some phone calls to spread the word, because we win it if people get information. Yeah.
So what can people do? Obviously they can vote. They've got their ballot in their hands. Yeah. That's very important. But beyond that, what else can people do?
So I would encourage to plug them in with three different things. One, the state party, your local county party is working on this. Two, Americans for Prosperity, which we mentioned, is going door to door, doing phone calls and stuff. And then the No on CC committee, which I'm a part of, you can go to votenoOnCC.com, and we're trying to get the word out too. So there's kind of different avenues to do this. But I think the key is just saying, you know what, this is important enough to protect Tabor. We know the other side is they think they call this a rehearsal for future efforts. They want to repeal Tabor, raise taxes. We have to stop them this year. And so getting plugged in with one of those three entities, I think would benefit us a lot.
Yeah. One final question on that. Like if they're successful in this, I mean, it's Katie bar the door, right? I mean, they're going to go for full repeal of the Taxpayer Bill of Rights.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And they've said this, the people who are representing Yes on CC. So this is just the first step. And you watch the money that's coming in. Over $4 million now, and the people who are giving it, Dan Ritchie, Pat Stryker, a lot of the unions, they want to get rid of Tabor totally. You have to watch, who's behind it, who's funding it. There is no doubt that they want to go after everything. And fortunately, even the Denver Post came out and said this thing is fatally flawed. So we're hoping that helps get the word out to some of these unaffiliated voters too.
Yeah, and I know the music's playing, so I got just a couple of seconds here. But I mean, why would public unions be opposed or be supporting this and opposed to its defeat? Because they want that money to be around so they can go raid it for pension funds. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
More money in the system. Yeah, I mean, that's what they want.
It's incredible. All right, Michael Fields, thanks for all you're doing. We appreciate everything you're doing to defeat Prop CC. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, you bet. We'll be right back on the Jeff Crank Show.